Today we are going to see how to make beetroot pachadi. For beetroot pachadi, I have took one whole beetroot and cut into cube pieces, 3/4 cup of curd. In the same cup, take 3/4 cup of grated coconut, 2 green chilies, 2 curry leaves, half teaspoon mustard, quarter teaspoon jeera and 1 small piece of ginger. As a next step, add all the beetroot pieces to a cooker and add very little amount of water and some salt. So we are going to boil the beetroot in cooker. Just cook the beetroot for 1 or 2 whistles maximum and switch off the stove. Now transfer the beetroot pieces to a mixie jar. Let it cool down and then grind it to a coarse paste like this. So it should be a coarse paste, it should not grind to a smooth paste. Once the beetroot paste is ready, as a next step, transfer the mustard, jeera, grated coconut, cut chilies and the curry leaves. Also don't forget to add the ginger piece. So once everything is added, you can add a little amount of water and grind this to a nice paste. Next step is we are going to get the curd ready. So I have a whip option in my mixie, so I'm going to use that and whip the curd. So make sure that if you are using a whisk or a fork, just beat it. It should be in the curd form but with no lumps. So now everything is ready and we can transfer the beetroot paste to a pan. So once the beetroot paste is added to the pan, make sure that it loses its raw smell. Since we already cooked it, there won't be much raw smell, but make sure that you saute it for some time before you add the coconut paste to it. So once you add the coconut paste, saute it again so that the coconut gets mixed along with the beetroot as well as it loses the raw smell completely. It won't take much time, just 2 to 3 minutes of sauteing is enough. Now you can see that the beetroot has mixed along with the coconut paste. Now add some salt. So remember that we have added some salt when we actually cook the beetroot in cooker. So make sure that you add only the required salt to it. Stir it well until the beetroot loses the raw smell. So once it's ready, now we can add the whipped curd. So once you add the whipped curd, make sure that you mix it very quickly. We have to switch off the stove within 10 to 15 seconds of adding the curd. When the curd mixes well with the beetroot and reaches this consistency, we can switch off the stove. Now we'll see how to garnish it. So place a pot or a small pan and add some coconut oil. If you don't like coconut oil, you can add any other oil you use. So once the oil is hot, add the mustard. Once it splutters, add 2 dried chilies and some curry leaves. So once everything is fried, switch off the stove and add it to the beetroot pachadi, which is already ready. It should be served hot, so let it cool down. So once it's cooled down, you can serve it. So enjoy the beetroot pachadi and also please share your comments once you have tried it. Next we are going to see how to make pineapple pachadi. For pineapple pachadi, the ingredients are 1 cup pineapple, 1 tablespoon jaggery, half teaspoon turmeric powder, half tablespoon chili powder, half cup curd, half cup grated coconut, 2 green chilies, 3 curry leaves, quarter teaspoon mustard and quarter teaspoon jeera. So now you could see the entire ingredients which are required for this pineapple pachadi. This pachadi will give you a sweet and a spicy taste which will be very nice. So as a first step, add the chopped pineapples to a pan and saute it. After sauteing it for a minute, you can add the turmeric powder, chili powder and the jaggery to the pineapple. Now saute everything well for a couple of minutes. Once the raw smell of the powders which we added goes off, let's add some water and allow the pineapple to get cooked in the water. Once the water is added, close the pan with a lid and cook for 5 minutes in lower flame. Meanwhile, we'll get the coconut paste ready for pineapple pachadi. For this, add the grated coconut, mustard, green chilies, curry leaves, jeera, to the mixie jar and grind it to a paste like this. So by this time the 5 minutes of slow cooking is over. So let's open the lid of the pan and cook in high flame. So the water has to completely get drained off like this. Add some salt once the water drains off and stir everything well. Now we can add the grounded coconut paste. So once the coconut paste is added, stir everything well and saute it until it loses the raw smell and gels with the pineapple. Meanwhile, whip the curd just as we did in beetroot pachadi and get the curd ready while the pineapple is getting cooked along with the coconut. So now we have transferred the curd to a mixie jar and we've whipped it like this. So now you can add the whipped curd to the pineapple pachadi. Whenever you do a curry or a gravy or pachadi with the curd, make sure that you don't keep the curd for too long in the stove. So once you add the curd, make sure that you switch off the stove within 20 to 30 seconds maximum. So now everything has mixed together, so we can switch off the stove and see how to garnish this. So for garnishing, let's keep a pan and stove. Add coconut oil or any other oil which you wish. So once it's hot, add mustard, 2 dry chilies and some curry leaves. Once everything is fried, you can switch off the stove and add it to the pineapple pachadi which is already ready. So once the garnishing is done, allow the pineapple pachadi to get cool before you serve. Make sure that you give a try and pass on your comments to Southern Recipes channel. Next we are going to see how to prepare cucumber pachadi. Let's see how to do it. Take 1 cup of cucumber, place a pan on stove and add some water. So we are going to cook the cucumber in the pan. So add the cucumber to the pan. Once the cucumbers are added, just mix them well and add some salt to it. So cucumber will not take more than 5 minutes to get cooked. Meanwhile, we'll see what are the other ingredients which is required for this recipe. For this recipe, we need half cup curd, half cup grated coconut, 1 green chilli, 2 curry leaves, quarter teaspoon mustard seeds and quarter teaspoon jeera seeds. Now transfer everything to a mixie jar except the curd like this, and we are going to add some water and grind it to a paste. Now let's see what happened to the cucumber. You can see the water is completely drained off. So now you can add the grounded coconut paste and saute it until the raw smell goes off. It will not take more than 2 to 3 minutes. So by the time, let's whip the curd and keep it ready like this. Now you can add the whipped curd as the coconut has gelled with the cucumber and lost its raw smell. So as I said, once you add the curd, switch off the stove within 15 to 20 seconds and garnish it as we did for pineapple pachadi and beetroot pachadi. Next we are going to see how to make a lemon date pickle, which is a very different pickle. Let's see what are the ingredients required for this pickle. For this, I have took 6 lemon, 6 dates, ginger a small piece, 3 chilies, 10 curry leaves, 2 tablespoon chili powder, 1 small piece asafoetida and quarter teaspoon fenugreek and quarter teaspoon mustard. First, dry roast the asafoetida so that it grinds well in the mixie jar. Then you can add the fenugreek seeds. So once you add the fenugreek seeds, add the mustard taken. Dry roast everything well. Once everything is dry roasted, switch off the stove. Cool everything well before you transfer it to a mixie jar and grind it as a powder like this. Next, we'll cut the lemon, dates and other things. So first, let's slice the ginger. Slit the ginger to very thin slices like this. Next, let's cut the lemons. So make sure that you remove the seeds and also make it as much as thin slices as you can. Generally, we do the lemon pickles after soaking it in lemon water so that it loses its bitterness. But since we are doing this as an instant pickle, we have to cut it into very thin slices. So next thing, we have to slice the dates into thin pieces like this. Then do the same thing with the chilies. So now everything is ready for the pickle. Let's start doing the pickle. For this quantity, add 100 ml of gingerly oil in a pan, and once it is hot, add the curry leaves and then ginger. So once ginger is added, make sure that it gets fried properly. Once the curry leaves and gingers are ready, now add the slit chilies. So after adding the chilies, just saute it for some time. and then you can add the cut lemon pieces. So make sure that you saute it for at least 5 to 10 minutes. After sauteing it for the specified time, now we can add the date pieces. Usually we have seen only people doing the pickles very spicy, but this pickle will have 2 to 3 different tastes. This pickle will be slight sweeter, bitter as well as spicy. So give it a try. So once the dates get cooked completely, you can add 2 tablespoons of chili powder, which we have already measured and kept. So once you have added the chili powder, as a usual process, make sure that you saute it well until it loses its raw smell. So after the chili powder loses its raw smell, hope you remember that we made a powder using the mustard, fenugreek seeds and all. So now you can add that powder to this pickle. Saute everything well until the powder loses its raw smell. So you can see the beauty of this pickle with a very bright color and also the yellow color of the lemon. As a last step, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of vinegar. This is just optional. If you don't like vinegar, please don't add it. Now the pickle is ready. You can switch off the stove at this stage. Please give a try and you're going to love this recipe. Also, don't forget to share your comments to Southern Recipes channel. Next, we are going to make avial. So let's see how we are going to do it and what are the ingredients required. For avial, usually it's a mix of any kind of vegetables, but please do not use lady's finger and brinjal. Today I have took 1 cup carrot, 1 cup beans, 1 drumstick, 1 cup Nendran raw banana and 1 cup yam. So we are going to cook all the vegetables in a pan like this. So add some water and the required salt to the pan. Then you can start adding the vegetables. So first let's add the hard vegetables like yam so that it stays in the bottom and gets cooked easily. After adding the yam, we can add beans, raw banana, carrot and finally drumstick. Once all the vegetables are added, make sure that you give them a good stir and let it get cooked. You can either cook it open in high flame like this, or you can close it with a lid and cook it in a lower flame. So by the time the vegetables getting cooked, let's prepare the coconut paste, which is going to bind all the vegetables together and give a complete different flavor for this avial. For that, we have taken 1 cup of coconut, 3 green chilies, and 1 teaspoon jeera. So add some water and we are going to grind this as a paste like this. So you can see a fine paste. By the time the vegetables are also cooked, so now you can add the grounded paste to the avial. So after adding the grounded paste, make sure that you stir it well. The coconut paste has to lose its raw smell as well as gel with the vegetables. And one more thing what we have to do is the vegetables has to get cooked along with the coconut gravy, and the water has to completely get drained off. So let's make the curd ready. So whenever you are going to add curd to a curry or any kind of pachadi, make sure that you whip it using a whisk or any kind of a mixie jar or anything you wish before adding it to the curry. So now we have added the curd. So once the curd is added, make sure that you stir it well so that the curd is consistent across the avial and all the vegetables has the taste of the curd. So avial will get even more thicker once it starts cooling down. So make sure that you don't go to a stage where the water is completely drained. If you are making a larger quantity and using it as 2 different portions for lunch as well as dinner. So here comes the secret ingredient of Kerala avial. Adding 1 or 2 tablespoons of coconut oil before you switch off the stove will enhance the flavor of this avial, because as you know we haven't added any oil to this particular dish. You can skip this step if you don't like coconut oil, but make sure that you try this gravy once. This goes well with sambar rice and rasam. Just give a try and don't forget to share your comments with Southern Recipes channel. Next we are going to see how to prepare inji puli. So this inji puli will be served in all the sadhyas to aid digestion. For this recipe we have took 75 grams of ginger, 2 tablespoon coriander powder, 1 tablespoon chili powder, 1/4 of coconut which is grated, lemon sized tamarind. Soak the tamarind and keep it ready. As a next step, we are going to transfer the chopped ginger to the mixie jar and grind it to a paste like this. Also make sure that you filter the water and the residues separately. Next, place a pan on stove and add some oil to it. You can use 2 tablespoons of oil. So once the oil is hot, add the grated coconut to the pan and we have to roast the coconut well. Once the coconut has started separating the oil like this, now add the residues of ginger which we have separated already. Saute everything well. When the coconut and the ginger has got roasted well, now we can add chili powder, coriander powder, After adding the chili powder and the coriander powder, stir everything well. Saute until the powder loses its raw smell. It has to be roasted well like this. So once it reaches this consistency, we can switch off the stove and transfer it to a mixie jar after it cools down. And we are going to add some water and grind it to a paste. So this should be the exact consistency. Now add some oil to the pan. And once it's hot, add some mustard. Once it splutters, add some fenugreek seeds. Curry leaves, dry red chilies and some green chilies. Once you have added everything, saute them well. So now at this stage, you can add the grounded paste. Saute it for some time. Once everything is sauteed well and mixed together with the chilies and other stuffs which we have added, now we can add the tamarind extract which we have kept ready. So when the tamarind water is getting cooked along with the ginger and the coconut paste, add the required salt as well as the remaining water which is left over in the mixie. So let everything get cooked well. Now we are adding jaggery. Once the gravy has started changing its color, so now at this stage you can add the ginger water which we already extracted from the ginger paste. So make sure that you separate only the water and add it. This dish, by the name Inji Puli itself, it says that it is made out of ginger and tamarind. So this is going to give you a different taste which you haven't tasted before for the people who have never tried it. So please try out this recipe and pass on your comments or feedbacks to Southern Recipes channel. This can be a good side dish for idli and dosa as well. Next recipe what we are going to see is ulli tiyal. For this we have took 100 grams shallot, lemon sized tamarind, a small piece ginger, 4 garlic cloves and 2 chilies. Now place a pan on stove and add oil to the pan. Also chop the shallots and keep it ready. Once the oil is hot, add the curry leaves, shallots, ginger and garlic. So once everything is added, make sure that you saute everything really well. Always add some salt so that the onions or shallots get cooked very easily. This has to be sauteed well until the shallots become translucent. And now we can switch off the stove and transfer it to a plate and let it cool down. Place another pan on stove and add 2 tablespoons of oil, half teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1.5 teaspoon of coriander powder, and 1 teaspoon of chili powder. So make sure that you cook the powders in low flame always, otherwise it will get burnt. So once all the powders are roasted well, now we can add the tamarind extract which we have kept ready as we did in Inji Puli. At this stage you can add some more water because we are going to cook everything really well and we are going to thicken this paste. So add as much as water you would require. Also add some salt to it. Mix everything well. So once everything starts getting to boil, you can add the jaggery which we have already mentioned. Add the jaggery and make sure that it gets dissolved. And once it starts to boil, now we can add the shallots which we have already roasted and kept it aside. Now this ullithiyal has to get boiled well and reduce and get thickened. Either you can cook it in the higher flame, but you should be there to stir it occasionally. Otherwise, you can cook it in the lower flame so that it gets reduced and thickened like this. This is an awesome side dish for roti, chapati, idli or dosa. Just give it a try and please forward your comments to Southern Recipes channel. The next item which we are going to see is Varutaracha Sambar. For this the ingredients are 1/4 cup coconut, 1 tablespoon coriander seeds, 1 teaspoon fenugreek seeds, 10 red chilies, 1 small piece asafoetida, 10 curry leaves. As a first step, we are going to cook the tur dal using a cooker. For that, add 1 chopped tomatoes to it and 10 shallots. Also add some salt to it. Cook the dal and keep it aside. Now place a pan on stove and we are adding the asafoetida and dry roast it. So now you can remove the asafoetida and add the fenugreek seeds. You can see that the fenugreek seeds are turning color. So at this stage, add the coriander seeds. So everything has to be dry roasted well. And now you can add the red chilies. Once the dry chilies are roasted, add the curry leaves and roast it as well. Once all the ingredients are roasted well, now add the coconut. So once you are adding the coconut, make sure that the stove is in low flame, otherwise the coconut will get burnt very quickly. Coconut has to turn into golden brown color, so that is the perfect consistency to switch off the stove. Now you can see that the coconut has turned to golden brown color. So now you can switch off the stove and allow it to cool down. Vegetables we have took for the sambar is 2 drumstick, white and yellow pumpkin, half cup. You can use any vegetables for this sambar. So now let's cook the vegetables in a pan like this. For that, add enough water and add the pumpkins and the drumstick pieces. Also add some salt. Mix all the vegetables so that it gets cooked well. Also add some turmeric powder. You can cook the vegetables in higher flame if you add enough water. So meanwhile, we'll make the other things ready. So let's transfer the roasted ingredients to the mixie jar. Add some water and grind it to a paste like this. So once the paste is ready and also the vegetables are cooked, you can transfer the ground paste to the pan. You can add a little amount of water to get the residues from the mixie jar. Make sure that it loses its raw smell before you add the cooked tur dal. So once the tur dal is added, mix everything well and let it boil. Meanwhile, get the tamarind extract ready from the soaked tamarind. Once the tur dal and the grounded paste has lost its raw smell, now we can add the tamarind extract. Once the tamarind extract is added to the sambar, let it boil for a couple of minutes. At this stage, you can check the salt and add some more salt if required. Sambar is ready now. We can switch off the stove and let's see how to garnish it. To garnish the sambar, place the pan on stove, add 1 tablespoon of oil. Once the oil is hot, add the mustard seeds, and once the mustard seeds start spluttering, add the dry red chilies and curry leaves. So once everything is roasted well, you can switch off the stove and add the garnished items to the sambar. Sambar can be served hot. This goes well with rice, idli and dosa. So just give it a try, and please don't forget to pass on your comments to Southern Recipes channel. Next recipe what we are going to see is Nendrakai Thoran. Ingredients for this recipe are 1 Nendran raw banana, 50 grams rajma, half cup coconut, 1 teaspoon jeera, 7 garlic pods and 4 chilies. Transfer everything to a mixie jar except the raw banana and the rajma and grind it to a paste like this. So it can be a coarse paste. So once this is ready, cut the raw bananas like this and add it to a pan. To the raw bananas, let's add the grounded coconut paste. Let it get cooked in the pan. Meanwhile, let's cook the rajma and keep it ready like this. Let the raw bananas get cooked along with the coconut paste, and the coconut paste also should lose its raw smell. Now the raw bananas are semi-cooked, so at this stage you can add the rajma along with the water to the pan. Now the raw banana and the rajma has to get cooked along with the coconut gravy. So let's add a pinch of turmeric powder to it. So once it's added, stir everything really well. So the actual consistency should be like this. So the water should completely get drained off, and you can see that the raw banana and the rajma and everything is cooked well. So at this stage you can switch off the stove and add some chopped coriander leaves to it. Now let's see how to garnish it. Place a pan on stove, add oil, and once the oil is hot, add some mustard seeds, and once it splutters, you can add a couple of dry red chilies as well as curry leaves. Once everything is roasted, you can switch off the stove and add it to the thoran which is already ready. So now you can see the thoran which is ready. Now we are going to see how to make pineapple kalan. For pineapple kalan, take 1 cup of pineapple, 1 cup of curd, 1 cup of grated coconut, 4 green chilies, half teaspoon jeera, 10 garlic cloves, 1 small piece ginger, and 10 curry leaves. Once the ingredients are ready, place a pan on stove and pour some coconut oil. If you don't like coconut oil, you can use whichever oil you wish. Once the oil is hot, add the curry leaves to the oil, and once it gets fried, then add the chopped green chilies. Saute the green chilies and add chopped garlic as well as the ginger. Saute everything well and then add the chopped pineapples. Once the pineapples are added, again saute everything together. Once the pineapple has started losing its raw smell, you can add 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. Also add 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder and then saute everything well again. After a couple of minutes, add some salt and then saute everything again. Meanwhile, we are going to grind the grated coconut. So transfer everything to a mixie jar and add 1/2 teaspoon of jeera to it. Add some water and make it into a paste like this. By the time the pineapple has cooked well, so now add the grounded paste. If there is leftover coconut paste in the mixie jar, don't worry, you can add a little amount of water and transfer it to the pan. Now stir everything well and saute it until the raw smell of the coconut paste goes off, and once it gets gel with the pineapple and the other ingredients which we have added, we can add the whipped curd. So make sure that before you add the curd to the mixture, you just whip it using a option which is given in the mixie, or just use a whisk and whip it. So after you add the curd, make sure that you stir everything really well and switch off the stove within 10 to 15 seconds of adding the curd. So now you can see that everything is mixed really well, so we can switch off the stove and let's see how to garnish it. So for garnishing, keep a small pot or a pan in stove and add some coconut oil. Once the oil is hot, add mustard seeds and the curry leaves, and also 2 or 3 red chilies slit like this. Once everything gets fried, you can switch off the stove and you can add it to the pineapple kalen. So now you can serve it. It gives a very good taste when it actually cools down. So serve it after it gets cooled down. Next item what we are going to make is Vellarika more curry. Vellarika is nothing but the cucumber and more is nothing but the curd. Ingredients we are going to use for this is 1 whole cucumber, 4 green chilies, 1/2 teaspoon jeera, 1 small piece ginger, 4 garlic pods, 3 shallots, 1 cup coconut and 1.5 cups of curd. As a first step, add the cucumber pieces to a pan. Also add the slit green chilies. Also add a pinch of turmeric powder and add some water so that the cucumber gets cooked in the pan. Now stir everything well so that the cucumber gets cooked along with the chili and the turmeric powder. Cucumber will not take more than 5 minutes to get cooked. So meanwhile, we'll grind a paste using the coconut which we have grated already. For that, add the grated coconut to a mixie jar along with the jeera, shallots, garlic, ginger and the curry leaves. Once everything is added, add some water and make the coconut a paste like this. Meanwhile, the cucumber has got cooked well, So add the grounded paste to the pan. So once you have added the grounded paste, make sure that you stir it well. Let the cucumber get cooked along with the coconut paste. Meanwhile, we'll whip the curd which we have taken. So we have taken 1.5 cups of curd today. Now you can see that the cucumber has almost cooked along with the coconut paste, but let it cook for some more time till the paste loses the raw smell. At this stage, you can add the required salt to the more curry, and then we can add the whipped curd. So after adding the curd, you have to switch off the stove within 10 to 15 seconds. So make sure that you stir it really well before you switch it off. It has to get mixed along with the cucumber and the coconut paste which we have already added. Once everything has got mixed really well, now you can switch off the stove and let's see how to garnish it. To garnish this curry, take 10 shallots, slit it like this, 10 curry leaves, 2 red chilies and half teaspoon fenugreek. For garnishing, you can use coconut oil if you wish, otherwise you can use any oil you're currently using. So once the oil is hot, make sure that you splutter the mustard seeds, and once that is done, add the shallots. Saute the shallots well, and once it's half cooked like this, you can add the curry leaves. At this stage, you can add the slit red chilies. So now you can add the fenugreek seeds which we have taken. So saute everything well, and it has to reach this kind of a consistency where everything has turned golden brown color. So now you can switch off the stove and add it to the more curry which is already ready. This is one of the prominent dish in every Kerala Sadhya. So make sure that you try it out and enjoy this Onam Sadhya. Also make sure that you pass on your comments